This is Roger with Crosscut in Tucson, Arizona. We're selling this truck. It is a 2006 Ford F250 Super Cab. It's a four-door extra cab with a long bed. It's an F250. It has a 6.0 turbo diesel, and it's two-wheel drive. It has very low miles, 107,380 miles. It was a one-owner truck, and it lived in Tucson its whole life. When I bring these vehicles in, it was also a Watson Chevrolet dealer trade-in. I bring them in that door right there, drive them onto the four-wheel post, put them up in the air, and I degrease and pressure spray them and leave them up there for a couple nights and see what comes out. And this thing looks really good underneath. Very nice. A very attractive undercarriage, okay? It's got a few little minor things, like it's got some touched up ding right under the power stroke emblem there. My job in these videos is to tell you what's right and not and what's wrong, okay? All we had to do in this vehicle was the driver's seat bolster, as usual, was torn on the outside, and it had some stitching torn in the back of the seat, same seat. So we repaired that, sent that to Poncho's. There'll be an invoice in the ad that shows that. Tires are probably, these are Pirellis, and they're probably, not probably, they are at least 50%. I'd say more like 70%. This is something scratched from here to here, and it was touched up. Just real minor ding in there. Not much. I doubt anyone's going to care about that, given that they're probably buying this truck to tow something. But the minute I leave something out, fireworks start. So, I don't like fireworks. I literally don't like them, to tell you the truth. but I really don't like them when they're emotional fireworks. That's no fun. I saw a little tiny touch up here. This person took pretty good care of this truck. Real good care of this truck. Yeah, really deep tread. And it's a Tucson truck, so if you're an East Coaster, this thing has never seen rust. This is the real deal. It's got a lockbox there. It's got the fifth wheel hitch they left in it. Probably, that usually indicates he's not upgrading to a newer truck. It's probably his wife said, we're done towing. You're getting a little scary with the driving. I've actually seen that a few times. And that's probably why the fifth wheel hitch is still there. It's got a crack in this lens right here. These things are like $20 online if you care. I wouldn't replace them. You back into your trailer or back into something and crack it again and wish you hadn't bought a new one. So anyway, so we got a bunch of keys. I imagine these are the keys for the box. Got a bunch of door keys. That's locked. That's unlocked, right? All right, this thing's been sitting here for a little while, so this will be a very cold start. You're gonna experience that with us, although it's 95 degrees outside. Let's see. Boom. Glow plug's ready. Beautiful. Alright, now let's see if I can hit this thing here and give you the 107,395 miles are on the odometer right now. Alright, we'll quickly go through this. This is all scanned in. This is the only repair we did. This is Poncho's upholstery, 524.24 for $150. He fixed this bolster, and there was a tear right here that he fixed. We scanned in the auto check vehicle history report, so you can check it out yourself, but they give it an 83 on a 55 to 72. It's a one owner and super boring, no accidents reported, and Tucson the whole way. And so I would imagine this thing made a couple trips across country once in a while, very once in a while, based on the open the hood here, based on the auto check and the low miles. It was probably their second or third vehicle. All right, got mirror out and in, up and down, other side, up and down, in and out. You can upgrade these mirrors, by the way. I don't like the little tiny ones like that very much. That's probably the one thing I don't like about this truck, are those mirrors. But I'm pretty sure, I'm about 99% sure, not 100%, that you can buy those sets for about 120 bucks, the full-size towing ones. Anyway, all right, so got a Ford stamp here, so you have an original fender. You want to see those Ford stamps everywhere. There's your cat sticker. Should be another Ford sticker here. There is. There should be another Ford there. So there you go. All the parts up front are original. And this is the best part. Zero blow-by. That's awesome. I guarantee you, this guy, the way this truck runs and drives, this guy did a fortune in oil changes, which is great. He did not bulletproof it, but in our ad, if you want to click on the bulletproofing thing, it's a smoking deal. It's actually too cheap. We should have adjusted the price recently. The parts got quite a bit more expensive. There's a manual. There's the key lock for it. You can get, if you want us to do it post-sale, add $2,900 and we'll take it to Monsoon. We'll buy a bulletproof EGR cooler, and then they'll install that along with a brand new Ford oil cooler and the gaskets and the filters and all that stuff. So it's a smoking deal. Those of you on the East Coast are gritting your teeth. You're like, what's it look like down here? It looks like brand new. That's not rough, baby. That's what happens when you have no rain ever and no snow. So there you go. It's a pretty truck. And it's a long bed, good for towing. A little bit easier to drive in the parking lots than a long bed crew cab. Your stickers here. Got your VIN here. Just a nice truck. Let's look at the roof real quick. Make sure there's nothing going on there. The windshield looks brand new. He probably did do a windshield pretty recently. It looks almost too good to be true. Like no pitting or anything, so. All right, let me get a seatbelt on here. Okay. Seatbelt on. Let me get some air out of here. Open these vents. It's freaking warm. It's not really that warm. 95 is nothing, but open my gate here. But it takes a couple weeks to get used to. And then once it's to 110 for a couple weeks in July, and has the monsoon starting, then you're all acclimated. It doesn't matter. All right, so let's see. Heard the radio. Including several forms of cancer, adverse birth outcomes, Parkinson's disease, get it out the gate before it starts closing on me here. All right, so now we're outside the yard. Now we'll go to FM. See, the station he had on was 99.5. That's country, of course. Let's see. Windshield wipers. We got tow on and off, right? Let's see. Reverse. I don't want to hit the fence, but there's reverse. This thing is nice. It's a nice truck. Anyway, all right, let's talk about how this works. If we come to an agreement on price, this is what will happen, okay? If you come to Tucson to drive it home, you'll pay your state tax rate, whatever that is, plus our city tax of 2.7% and a $250 dock fee, okay? If you're gonna buy from out of state, pay by wire and ship it out of state, all you're gonna pay is agreed upon price, and that's it. No tax, no dock fee, nothing, okay? Just the price. If you need help with shipping out of state, let me know. We can add the shipping to the price. You make just one payment for the shipping and the truck, and I'll get it to you. Although I can tell you right now, we're having a bunch of trouble getting a truck just from Tucson to Albuquerque. And we're not sure if it's just because it's Memorial Weekend coming up. It probably is. I don't know what the deal is, but it's starting to stress me out a little bit. Normally I can get a vehicle out of here in 2 or 3 days. This one's been day 7 and I haven't got it out. And I know what I'm doing, and I know truckers, and I know everything, so I've called around, and I'm pretty sure everyone's just laying low for Memorial Weekend. So I think probably on Tuesday I'll be fine. But anyway, I can arrange it for you and get it done, okay? Let's see. Deposit. Once we have an agreed upon price, get your deposit, and that's $500. Until we have a deposit, it will stay for sale. No exceptions. All right? If you go to your wife and say, hey, I put an offer and they accepted it, you know, and you didn't put your deposit in, there's a good chance, especially on this truck and the King Ranch we're about to put online here later this afternoon, that those vehicles will be gone in that time while you're talking to somebody or doing whatever. If you're serious, put the deposit in, okay? Anyway, last part of every video, I say the same thing every single time. By the way, this is our detail shop right here, Fine Lines. That's where this truck was about 2 hours ago. We don't have salesmen, so there's no commissions involved in this vehicle, so it saves you money. The property that we just drove off of, our uncle rents it to us for $1 a year, and we do have to write a check for $1 to make it legal. So we don't have this exorbitant overhead for that. It's just me and my brother, so there's not employees running all over that we have to pay. So we can afford to sell it to you for less. But the real golden bullet is as follows. When they crush you selling you this vehicle at the new car dealership on their used car property, they know if something breaks, you're going to bring it in and scream at them, and you should, because they just sold it to you for a fortune. All right? Now, we are not going to make every single dime we can on this vehicle. Why? Because we know that something eventually will break. And if you've saved enough money, you'll just go fix it, all right? And we won't get a call. We don't have the people or the time or, frankly, the money to fix broken things all day long. And every single vehicle out here is going to break. This one, probably not. But the minute I say that, I'm wrong. So I'm not going to say that. I'm just going to show you. Fortunately, we got this huge truck. This is the, I just got on the Prince Road on-ramp here onto I-10. And, of course, I'm behind, you know, a snail, which kind of sucks because I kind of want to have some pace here. But anyway, the bottom line is the only rule we have is the day you own it, you're the owner. If you think we're going to write you a check for a window motor or a battery or a radio or an AC charge or an injector or in anything, you're wrong, okay? If you want to give us an extra couple $1,000s, we'll give you a little bit of a warranty. But I wouldn't do that because this thing doesn't need it. So here, now we got a little bit of room here. So we're gonna go down here. We're doing what, 75, and drives like a car. It drives just like what we call an old man truck. An old man owned this thing, took great care of it. It probably spent most nights inside, and he probably towed to the East Coast once or twice a year, and that's where all the miles came from. So it's kind of obvious. These are our favorite type of vehicles. When you could just tell, you know, they didn't splurge for the leather and all that stuff. They just wanted a truck, and then they take care of it with the money they save, not buying a King Ranch or a Lariat or whatever. They can spend on a nice fifth wheel hitch, maintenance, etc. So anyway, now you know how it works. The only thing you really need to remember is that we're not sending checks out for things that break, whether it's the first day you own it or 3 years from now. We actually just had a person call us from like 7 years ago telling us that something broke. We're like, wait a second, when did you buy this? We're like, 2018. Like, why are you on the phone with us? We're glad to send you to, you know, we know some numbers we can send you, but we're not writing you a check. You know, you put 100,000 miles and 7 years on it. That would make us the dumbest people in the world. So, you know, that was a little bit, and they thought, of course, that we were jerks. But that goes for minute 1 of ownership. That being said, the air is blowing ice cold in here. It's beautiful in here. Got a really nice windshield. All the trim looks good. Looks really good. This is a nice truck, really nice truck. You know, I guess the only thing to think about is whether you want us to take it over to Monsoon and have them do the bulletproof. That's a bulletproof EGR cooler, a new Ford oil cooler, all the gaskets, coolant, oil, filter, all that stuff. Now, would I do that? I don't know, man. On the King Ranch, I'm going to recommend it, the one that we're going to put on next. It was pretty well taken care of in an Arizona truck, but not like this. This one stands out with no blow-by. That, you know, the stuff that usually gums up the EGR and causes problems never happened because the fluids obviously were changed quite often. So if you're like that guy and you just do your fluids, you could probably save a lot of money not bulletproofing it. But if you don't want to do the hassle of, you know, doing an oil change every 4,000 or 5,000 miles and doing the filters and stuff, flushing the coolant, then yeah, do it. That helps a lot with that. But on this one, if it were mine, I would just go to Jiffy Lube every 4,000 miles and, you know, give them a couple $100 to do the filters and the oil, and, you know, a couple $100 goes into 3,000 several times. Probably making it not worth doing the bulletproof. But we like that option because that's people's fare, is that. And so if that's your fare, that's the cheapest you'll ever get it done, and they're doing a million of them for us. They do so many of them for us. They know exactly how to do it, and if there's a problem along the way, they'll tell us, and then we'll tell you, which is nice. But on this one, don't do it. Anyway, these videos can be 17 minutes and 38 seconds, which is how long the SD card in this GoPro allows, and we're at 1624. This is La Cañada, where I'm going to turn right, going back towards our place, and we're not going to make it there in time. So at 17 minutes and 38 seconds, this thing ends. I just want you to know. I didn't hit the wall or crash or anything like that. It just ends at 1738. Sometimes I forget to say goodbye at 1738. People think something happened. No, I'm just special. And this is such a nice truck. The shifting's great. There's a school up here on the right, so I gotta chill out here. Fire department over there, and then you got flowing wells. Oh, they must not be in school today. It's Friday before Memorial Day, so I guess they got out early, or maybe they didn't even have school today. Anyway, we're at 17 minutes and 18 seconds. Absolutely killer truck. If you need a long bed extra cab to tow with, I would highly recommend this one. I really like this truck. I like simple. This one's simple. Anyway, we're out of time. Thanks very much.